Hi, welcome to another episode of Webcam Sessions. This week we're going to work on getting a less plunky sound and how to get your sustain better and to make sure that you're not choking notes as you're going through them. So let's go ahead and dive right in. To do this, we're going to play a very simple melody. We're going to start by placing our pinky finger here on the 7th fret of the A string. Play that. Then we're going to use either our middle or ring. I like to use my middle here, but both will work. And play the 5th fret of the A string. Then finally, our index finger here on the 3rd fret of the A. If you go this sequentially, you'll notice it's the beginning to Hot Cross Buns, or Mary Had a Little Lamb, right? Now, you might play these and you might find that your tone sounds something like this. When you're looking for this sort of sound. And we're going to talk about how to get that today. So there's two things that primarily happen. One with your playing hand and one with your fretting hand. What happens with our playing hand is oftentimes when we're playing a note, we'll reset whatever finger played the string and touch the string again. If we do that prematurely, what happens is this. See how if I play the 7 on the A, right, with my thumb, but then I put my thumb right back on, makes the note stop ringing. We call this choking the note, and we want to be very careful to not do that here because we want the note to sustain, right? So that's how the playing hand can get involved. The way that the fretting hand will get involved is you might notice that if you allow the pressure to come off a little bit on that finger, it's going to also stop ringing. So we want to ensure that we're maintaining pressure as we are fretting that note. So both of these, whether it be the right hand or the left, can make that note stop, but by maintaining pressure and not touching the string again, you can ensure that it rings as long as possible. Now another thing that goes into play here is making sure that you're only unfretting or only playing when you have to move to the next part. So in this case, when we're going to the 5, a lot of times people will take the pressure off, move the finger, and then play, and they get this sort of sound. And the reason is because they're taking too long to make that motion. So if instead I leave the pinky finger fretted and I actually apply the ring finger here to the 5th fret of the A string, start applying pressure now, while this is still applying the pressure, notice how I still get that sustain. And now I'm going to take off the pinky and immediately play it. See how that gives me the sound that I'm looking for. If I accidentally touch the string with my playing hand, it'll stop it. If I accidentally stop fretting and applying pressure, it'll also stop it. So a lot of things stopping it, not a lot of things keeping it going. But this is the trick to play with that really beautiful, what we call legato style, which is where we're letting these notes ring and kind of, bleed into each other a little bit in terms of their sound. So now if I go 7-5-3, 7-5-3 twice in a row, if I make sure that I'm keeping this force applied and not touching the string till I have to, I can make it sound like this. Versus if I accidentally, bring off some pressure, or if I accidentally touch it right after playing it, here that's that more plunky sound, right? So that's how you don't choke notes, how you get this richer sound, and we're actually going to talk pretty soon about when choking notes can be a good thing, when we want it from a style standpoint of kind of muting. But for now, that's what we're going to work on with keeping the sustain going. Another tip is make sure that the attack of the note, meaning when you first strike the string with your playing hand, make sure it's not too loud and too hard, because sometimes that'll create the illusion of this plunky sound because it's such a strong initial attack followed by the sound decaying quickly. It doesn't sound nearly as good as you can hear. That one's much quieter. So kind of fun. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. I check those every time when I make these videos, so please feel free to let me know if you're still having trouble or maybe you have a different tactic to make sure you get the best sustain you can. And I'll see you guys next week for another episode of Webcam Sessions.